So we'll do like a speed paint base coat for their color on all of these. And that's what I do standard. Just to get the paint on them. And then we'll paint over the sort of messy parts and add details. And just to give you an example, right here, we have some armor, right? It's hard to really get up close on there. You can see it's a strap of his chest. That will not be blue. We'll figure out what color tan or dark leather we're gonna use. And if you notice, a lot of them have like the straw armor hats. Those would be painted a straw color. And we'll use something like this shining silver from the War Paint brand, which is different than the MSP brand that I usually use. And I specifically bought that just to make shiny armor. And I sometimes use that to do a dry brush to add some luster to them after the fact. But yeah, the next thing you will see me filming is doing some of the details. So here's a little midpoint of painting, and I'll sort of show what's going on. We have mostly orange. I did an orange underneath, and then I highlighted the armor with some golds and some silvers. And you know, I did a little bit of like dry brushing on the back just to create some pop. These are not going to be extremely detailed. You know, you're painting a ton of them. They're kind of small anyway, so you're not going to really see too much detail. This is the green troops. You'll notice I switched up some colors on there, you know, added a little bit more shininess to the shields. But, you know, I did different things. Like here I gave a silver shield, the guys on horseback, and then I gave silver epaulettes to pretty much all of them. With the clerk guy, I did a little dry brushing with a little bit of turquoise just to sort of have that green pop. So for the main troops plus the expansion, I went ahead and painted them. If you'll notice, I'll zoom in here, some of it, I got it on the hair. So I'm gonna come back with black and fix some of their hair, especially on these red ones. I think it was a little sloppy. The rest of them have helmets, so it wasn't a big deal. But then what I'm actually doing, I forgot to prime the gunpowder expansion. I forgot I even had it on the shelf. So I dug it up off the shelf, and if you'll notice, it's painted, but not primed. And I'm curious if the plastic here will hold the paint, or if I'll need to prime it and repaint it, which is very easy to just get rid of the paint that's already on there, mostly just chips off. But I've gone ahead and painted it. As you can see, you can sort of see the difference right here. That color of the bamboo is different than what I'm painting it with. But what I also noticed is doing this, especially on the yellow, I don't have the issue that I have over here, which is a lot of the black coming through with that yellow. That's a lesson learned. Next time I know I'm painting something yellow, I will for sure prime it with black and then white over it, just to give it some shadows. But that's the thing though, I am not an expert painter, but I think for large armies and casual gaming, this isn't bad so far. But I'm gonna get back to it and eventually show the final product. Just as a little side note, while I was painting my miniatures, Heerlin was painting some leftover miniatures I had from a game called Planet Apocalypse. These were the wrong base ones, so Peterson Games sent out the right ones after they had already shipped. So I had extra ones I'd already primed. So I figured, hey, why not let the kiddo learn along with dad, right? And so there we have it. The Great Wall. I can do a close-up of one of these. You can see it's not particularly detailed.
but you know, enough to pass muster for a basic board game. These are pretty small miniatures, and I got some little dainty thumbs. So it's a very small miniature. This is the ones from the black powder expansion. Looks like it's an arrow with dynamite attached. And let's see, there's a trebuchet. It's like almost like some coals were burning in the back. Kind of wanted to do a little more with this, but figured little handheld launcher, I guess, some sort of ordnance. Then this sort of cannon looking thing I thought was kind of cool. And there's a ladder. Yeah, the only ones I'm kind of disappointed with, and I've learned my lesson, is the yellow guys. You can see there's a lot of black still showing up. Next time I'll keep in mind to listen to what I've learned and go ahead and give those a lighter primer than I did. Because I mean, I really would have had to cake the yellow on there way more and lose even more detail. And I ended up putting some gold, you know, just to have them pop a little bit. I actually spent the most time and the most detail on the faction that came with the stretch goals. You know, just call them the orange guys. Before I even looked and realized that they were a 5th faction, I thought they were actually like Genghis Khan, you know? But no. Genghis Khan, I gave him like this bright blue flag. I don't know why. I just thought it looked cool. But I'm thinking about actually changing it to purple. Maybe like a dark purple. We'll see if I end up doing that before I end up spraying the coating on them. But I'll show you guys when I spray the coating on them. We'll look at them after the fact also. And there we have it. They're completely painted. I sealed them with some gloss. They're not the prettiest. I've done better, but I've also done worse. And as I continue this miniature painting, and I find myself getting a little more patience. Sorry, buddy, only painted half your head the right color. So I find myself getting more patience as my vision wanes, as I get older. I'll use more magnification maybe. I'll have to have it checked out, see if I'm down to 20/20 vision. But, you know, for just playing a game with, you know, people who don't judge my painting skills too harshly, I think it's getting there. Did more dry brushing than I've ever done on anything, just because I think I was trying to get through with it so I can just play this darn game after so many years. But yeah, I'll be painting something again soon.